Guys, this is Rob the Voluntarist Rebel, and today I will not be talking about King Obama being re-inaugurated again. No, but whenever there's inauguration of a new king or president on this land, it makes me think about all the historical presidents, the presidents that preceded him, and were they tyrannical? Well, I have a message to all the patriot-loving Americans out there that believe that their icon, the first president of the United States, the greatest president of all time, yes, George Washington, was in fact a tyrant. And this is why. First and foremost, let me get out of the way. He was a slave owner, and that's horrible. And no, he didn't free his slaves midway through his life where he came to the realization that was wrong. No, he put it in his will. It was kind of a cop-out. Like, well, I'll have slaves until I die, and then I won't care anymore. No, he should have freed them a long time ago or not have any slaves. That kind of sets a character if you think about it. Now, he was a supporter of the Federalist. He didn't come out as a Federalist, but he supported the Federalists, who supported centralized power and whatnot. For his Secretary of Treasurer, the Treasurer, he appointed Alexander Hamilton, who was a Federalist. He supported high taxes and centralized bank to pay off the war debts from the Revolutionary War. Sounds kind of familiar if you think about it. He also, because of that, he supported taxes. He supported theft from the barrel of a gun. Basically what we fought against during the Revolutionary War, if you think about it as well. Now, this is where, in my opinion, now you can even give him a pass on some of that, but this is where, in my opinion, George Washington really was a tyrant. It was the Whiskey Rebellion of 1794. One of the taxes that George Washington signed into law was a tax on distilleries making wine and whiskey and whatnot. Now, during that time in western Pennsylvania, there's about 500 protesters. They attacked a house of a tax collector for that said tax. Now, mind you, historically, Boston Tea Party, there's multiple protests that happen where people storm boats and threw tea over. And everyone knows the Boston Tea Party story. And there's also many reports and incidences where citizens literally tarred and feathered tax collectors before the Revolutionary War. And this is only like 20 years earlier. So this is still a historical norm for the people of the colonies to do this to people wanting to steal from them. Alright? Now, you would think that there might be some negotiations or whatnot, which there were, but at the end of the day, George Washington got a 13,000 strong militia, which he personally led to Pennsylvania to squell the rebellion. Now, the rebels, I guess the protesters, depends on which way you kind of look at the story, they scattered, and there was like 20-some people arrested, and then they were all pardoned and whatnot. But the thing is, George Washington set the precedent that the President of the United States can use overwhelming force to stop anyone who is resisting their authority. He used 13,000 militia army to take out 500 people. If that's not tyrannical, I don't know what is. But anyways, like I said, my message to all the patriots out there, George Washington was a tyrant. And if you think Obama's a tyrant, which he is, well, he's just using the precedent that George Washington set for this country. So if you want to blame anyone, going all the way back to why a president has so much executive power to use overwhelming force against people who are resisting their authority, blame it on George Washington. Anyways, that is my episode. You can always follow me on Twitter, which is just @VoluntaryRebel. My links to my Twitter and Facebook are all down there. Please like, share, subscribe, all that good jazz, and peace, love, liberty.